Welcome to another horrid, terrible, despicable, abominable, socially unacceptable episode of The Apocalypse. Congratulations, by the way, for choosing The Apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen The Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide. Nicholas, so good to see you, a bloody gain. It appears God is asking you another question, Rubes. And the greedy at the top. This applies to you as well. Is there no line you will not cross with Donnie? God revealed another damning piece of information today. Regarding the Orange Messiah, I must ask you, here and now, you can answer in your own head, for this is a broadcast. After you saw what you saw today, and don't pretend like you didn't see it, son. Are you still on board? Of bloody course you are. For you are of Satan. Lest you turn away, son. Until then, yes, let's begin. Again, the question, after you saw what you saw today, is that enough for you? I know concentration camps were no big deal. Some people never walk out of. You love that shit. The masked men with machine guns on the street, kidnapping people, throwing them in a van and transferring them 9 times and then sending them to fucking Rwanda or something. I know you're down with that shit. If you weren't, you wouldn't be, on Team MAGA right now. But after today, and we'll get to it, I'm saving it. Are you still on board? That's a very serious question. Especially if you've been preaching Pizzagate for 20 fucking years. You know, the talking points Vlad gave you? Anyway, let's begin. We'll get to the icing on top, don't worry. Supreme Court lifts restrictions on immigration stops in LA. So what this basically did is said, oh yeah, you can racially profile and you can, do papers, please. Lifts restrictions on immigration stops in LA. Again, the Supreme Court is making a huge mistake that many in history have made, catering to the dictator. Until one day the dictator turns their wrath on them. And no one will be there to stop them. Or stop him, I should say. You know that time's going to come for all of you, right? All of you. Every last one. Doesn't matter how much damage you do in the meantime. That moment is still coming for all of you. And I mean all of you. You know who you are. People like this that co-sign, oh yeah, we can do papers, please, and you guys can racially profile, no problem. So again, it's really nice to see the Supreme Court co-sign the dystopia, co-sign the fall of America, because you realize that's the time you're living in, right, son? You're actually living in the time of the fall of America. And boy, is it happening quick. Because they don't have a lot of time. And the Supreme Court's all too happy to help out. The majority, anyway. Another court decision. Appeals court upholds Carroll's $83 million judgment against Trump. I'm sure Donnie will find the right judge eventually that'll make this go away and make everything that Donnie's done go away. That's the whole point of this exercise. You haven't noticed? Rewrite history, make all his convictions go away, rewrite history so all his transgressions go away. You know, like trying to overthrow the government on live fucking TV. All that needs to go away. That's what Donnie's been trying to do for a while now. As E. Jean's been trying to get justice, Donnie's been trying to figure out a judge that can help him never have to pay. This is Donnie today, looking just fucking wonderful. That evil will eat you up, boy. Turn you into a diaper-wearing, orange-faced con man with dementia. Joe Biden and the Biden administration, they were mean people. What they did to people, what they did to J6, these were mean people. These were really radical, horrible people. Yes, the protesters were indeed. They rubbed their shit on the fucking walls. But that's not who Donnie's talking about. Donnie's talking about the people that prosecuted them. And Donnie got to skate for all you idiots that went to prison for him, by the way. Didn't do one fucking second in jail. Didn't even get cuss slapped on him, son. How'd it go for you? Yeah, if some of you got a pardon at the end or whatever, but, you know, a lot of you already served your sentences. That probably didn't do much for you, did it? Nah. But, you know, as a consolation, Donnie didn't have to do 1 second in prison. So thank you for doing the time for him. Did Donnie send you a thank you note? Oh, you got a pardon after you served your sentence? That's great. Again, pure inversion of reality. That's why I keep telling you this guy's the Antichrist. Pure inversion. Straight up flipping. Not bending the truth. Not twisting it. Straight up fucking flipping it over. No, the mean people were the people trying to kill congressmen and senators and hang Mike Pence on behalf of an orange-faced fucking sociopath. So sad our country has to end for this thing. Oh my God, that's pathetic. So the mean and horrible people were the people that prosecuted the J6 people that beat cops. Okay, that's where he's trying to take it. This is Donnie talking about how Donnie's taking care of the real crime in D.C. Not like things that take place in the home that they call crime. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this is a crime. Okay. Donnie's basically saying in his little speech, and I'm giving you the context right now, well, I took care of the real crime, not like that bullshit crime of domestic violence. That's what he's saying here. Because there's a whole story about Donnie and domestic violence in one of his wife's books. Maybe you should read it. Again, I was thinking about the past few days, that passage about how this Antichrist person will really have a kind of hatred of women. That's a good example right there. Again, in some translations it says, which is confusing, he will hate the God of women. In other translations, he will hate the desire of women. Again, a lot of people thought that that meant the Antichrist was supposed to be gay. I've heard that commentary a million fucking times. I never necessarily believed that. I believed he could be gay, could not be, whatever. And the scripture doesn't mean that the Antichrist will be gay, although he could be. Again, we are Rome, son. And there sure are a lot of gay men at the top of this thing. Again, I have no problem with gay men. I do have a problem with gay men that hate women and want to build a Reich and enslave us all. I do have a problem with that. So Donnie could be. It wouldn't surprise me at all. The way he talks about things and experiences with women around other men is not natural. It's almost as if he's trying to prove something. Not just that he can get a lot of women, like most men like to prove. It's almost like it's something more. And I'm noticing what kind of dudes he likes to have around him in this whole thing he's doing. So it wouldn't surprise me at all, son, if that was the case. But again, the scripture wasn't necessarily saying that. There's another thing going on here. I don't know if you've noticed. And it's really directed at women. Over and over again. There's this hatred. I know why. I've told you part of it. I won't go any further. I know why this group of men hates women and targets them specifically. But the point I'm trying to make, that is one of the qualifications of this thing, of that time they call the end. This person that rises, the movement, and he especially, has a real problem with women and will go after them. We're watching it. Here we go again, where the man's basically advocating for, so you beat up your wife a little bit, That's not a real crime. We took care of the real crime. You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say next. Anyway, let me read this one more time to you. Things that take place in the home they call crime. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this is a crime. No, they don't say that is a crime. They say when you start beating your wife, that's a crime. So what's Donnie talking about here? I think you know. And again, the scripture, son, that's in the Old Testament, I believe. He will hate the God of women or hate the desire of women. What movement can you remember that personifies that, like MAGA? Just proving it, man. Just cementing it. And that's what bothers me. That means it's real. I don't want it to be real. But again, I haven't seen a movement like this, especially as mainstream as it has gone. This targeting of women. Literal scripture to address that. And boy, does Donnie just kind of personify it. He fills all the qualifications. I've checked. That's what I spent 10 years on, especially the beginning part of it. That part of it. Checking, does he fill the qualifications? He did then, and he especially did after Assassination Day. Oh my God. That's the qualification, son. Not an assassination attempt, a head wound that heals miraculously. And Donnie has made that the centerpiece of his entire administration. And that's what it looked like when it happened. It looked like a head wound. We didn't know the ear was hit. We just saw blood running down his face as if his head was hit. And he goes down. Oh no, what happened to the president? Or, he was running for president at the time. What happened to the ex-president? Then he miraculously gets back up and does a fist pump. And his Secret Service allowed him to do that. Because Donnie's that strong. He can just push 5-6 men right off of him. Cankles and all. Blood streaming down his face. Miraculously, he gets up. We thought he might be seriously injured or dead. Next day, the day after, pictures of his ear. Oh, ear looks great. Got hit by an AR-15 bullet, you say? Became the centerpiece of everything. It's on the coin. Everything. What I'm trying to say, son, is this couldn't fit better if it tried. Again, or else I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be yelling it. Here's Donnie trying to sell his military takeover of Chicago after his military takeover of LA, after his military takeover of DC and the trains in DC. Let's read. 6 people were murdered in Chicago this weekend. 12 others were shot and in serious condition. This would mean that over the past number of weeks, approximately 50 people were killed and hundreds were shot, many expected to die. Pritzker just stated that he doesn't want federal government help. Hey, 50 people died in Chicago. Did you hear about the 11 people that died in a boat in the Caribbean? I wonder how they died. So is the problem death for Donnie, or is the problem he needs to get the military on your fucking streets, you fucking marks? Many were expected to die that were shot. Pritzker stated he doesn't want government help. Why, in all caps? What is wrong with this guy and the 5% in polls mayor? Yeah, I highly doubt Pritzker's at 5%. In a logical world, Donnie would be at 5%. In a really logical world, Donnie would be at negative 50%. But this ain't logical, son. This is supernatural. And God asks you a question again today. I want to help the people of Chicago, not hurt them, because Donnie's been all about helping people his whole life, right? Right, Rubes? Only the criminals will be hurt. Sure, Donnie. We can move fast and stop this madness. And again, Donnie's a criminal convicted felon. The city and state have not been able to do the job. People of Illinois should band together, demand protection. It's only going to get worse. Act now before it's too late. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's Donnie's sales pitch for the military takeover of Chicago. Did he win you over? Unbelievable. Again, any other president would have been impeached a long time ago, even hinting at this bullshit, let alone third deployment of troops on U.S. soil. Should have been impeached fucking 2 months ago. You'll all regret not doing it and not being in favor of it. Oh my God, will you regret it? I can't even express how much you'll regret it. The thing I've been saying for 10 years, and a lot of tears have fallen along the way. All will be crying at the end of this. And I knew that 10 years ago. That's why I've been yelling not to give this guy power. Get him out of there. And so many other people were yelling that. But so many of you knew better. Now it's all over. And I mean all of it. In light of today's SCOTUS decision, this is Ron Filipkowski, every person of color with an accent in the U.S. should probably carry proof of citizenship with them at all times. Oh, you mean your papers? While working and everywhere they go. If you don't want to be in a detention facility awaiting a friend or relative to bring it, sometimes they don't even give you the opportunity. I've read several stories where the person said, you know, I was a U.S. citizen. I kept trying to present my shit and they didn't want to hear it. Again, because it's $1,000, $1,500 a body plus bonuses. You know what I mean? The whole thing. They'll help you with college even though they couldn't forgive college loans. But they can give money to the kidnappers. No problem. Like I said, the second I saw the ruling, I knew exactly what it meant. And this is one of two comments that explains it perfectly. The Supreme Court co-signed racial profiling, that's legal now. And papers, please. That is legal now, according to the Supreme Court. So yeah, if you fall into one of those categories, eventually it won't matter what color you are. The right will just grab whoever they want. They've pretty much been doing that already. But more groups will fall under the umbrella, they always do. I've already had some added since this began. Remember why the guards on DC streets for the noble mission of rounding up homeless people. You remember that? And shipping them far, far away. That's what you have your name on, son. I'm glad I don't. So exactly like Ron's saying, carry proof of citizenship, and hopefully they'll even let you, show it, because they haven't done that with everybody. And, you can get along with your business after you've been, detained 5-6 hours. Because this ain't no little inconvenience here, people. I keep telling you. I've been saying this for months as well. I was saying it for years before he won again. That if you get stopped, if you get taken to a facility for a week, a day, 2 days, 3 weeks, well, you got to explain that to your friends, your family, your job, everything. It kind of ruins your whole fucking life, son. Not to mention the money lost, all the different appointments you've missed, different things, bills, all kinds of stuff. That ain't no minor fucking inconvenience. That's why, again, I've been yelling about it for fucking years. Again, remember Mr. Cortez over a year ago on the live stream when the adjudicated criminal would let me live stream. He was down with the roundups that were promised before the election. Long before. I said, that's funny, your name's Mr. Cortez and you're down with this. What if they come after you? Because the only thing they're going to have to go on is, do you look Latin? That's it. Mr. Cortez didn't understand that concept. That's if that was even his real name. I think he said he was Puerto Rican or something. Like that matters. You look Latin? You get harassed. Maybe taken away. So yes, the sad thing, and again, the point I want to make with this Ron Filipkowski quote is racial profiling and papers, please. We are there now because of the Supreme Court. It is allowed. for the guys in masks, you know. So, you know, if you look Latin in this country, that's again why I don't understand why one Latin person, again, this is supernatural, but one Latin person heard this and said, well, if they're going to round people up and I look like those people, the gears didn't turn in the head. They were just, I like Trump. Well, Trump doesn't like you. That's the problem. That's why your people are being rounded up first. You are the doorway to the rest. Homeless have already been added to the list. In D.C. specifically. Okay, after the Hyundai read, I've read all kind of things about it. I told you about it yesterday. Donnie's Mass Gestapo raided the Hyundai plant that the people that own Hyundai invested billions to make some shit happen in America. This is their thanks for it. And what Donnie is basically saying, again, just like I said yesterday, if you want to keep your illegals or your visa workers, you got to pay me. Otherwise, you got to hire all Americans. Tribute. It's always about tribute with Donnie. That's why this was done. Donnie's keeping his illegals. They ain't raiding Mar-a-Lago, have you noticed? I did. If Hyundai wants to keep theirs, they got to pay them. You want to do business in America, you got to pay them. A million other reasons why you got to pay them. That's why all you people at the top, you should not have done this. You will suffer greatly. Donnie will take a lot from you, if not all. But you got a big house or 9 big houses. You got yachts. You got suits and ties and just so many great things. So you know better, right? Right. Lawyer for Hyundai plant employees. One thing that's been unclear through all this is why did ICE go to this plant? They didn't even bring a single Korean translator with them. Well, that would have messed up the theater for the rubes. So they can take the country while the rubes clap like seals. Every one of these individuals had entered on a visa. That means they had permission. That don't matter to the Reich. They got theater to put on for the rubes. And Donnie wants some tribute, damn it. They told Customs and Border Protection why they were here. So these ain't Koreans that snuck over the fucking border, son. They all came in on visas. I mean, my God. Again, a lot of the people you've watched Donnie deport in these last, 7 months, a lot of them had protected status. So they weren't doing anything wrong. Then Donnie just pulls that status away. I'm going to round you all up and send you to El Salvador to a death camp. Fuck you. That's evil, man. That is fucking evil. Here we are again. The Hyundai's lawyers basically saying, like, these are all visa work. What are you doing, man? Again, this gentleman and Hyundai and all the rest of you corporations, I guess you don't get it. The tech people, too. This is a Reich they're building. And it's based on white nationalism and white supremacy. Also based on mob. What does the mob do? Leech into everyone's money somehow. If you breathe in this neighborhood, you pay us. That's the mob. So what does that mean on a larger scale with Donnie? Well, you want to do business in America? I said this, a year ago to you people on camera? Maybe when he first won, I can't remember. I think it was right before, actually. You want to do anything. You want to do business on this globe, you must pay Caesar. You want to do business in America, established companies that have paid their dues and, paid all the shit they're supposed to pay. Now you got to pay the VIG. That's what I was trying to warn the oligarchy about prior to the election. They'll never stop coming to your door. That's what partially this is. It also is a shiny object to hold up for the rubes. Because they don't care if they're visa workers or they just like the theater, even though it does nothing for them. So the lawyer's saying, yeah, every person they took entered on a visa. I don't understand why they did this, blah, blah, blah. Because tribute, that's why. And theater. I'm sure that'll entice many more companies to bring manufacturing and big work over here. Knowing that any second, if Donnie wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, he'll just raid their plant. Cost them billions. This is Darth Putin. And remember, Darth Putin knows all and sees all. Take a look and then I'll read it quickly. You get the privilege of seeing a Darth Putin post. Under Sleepy Joe Biden, Russia retreated from Kiev, Sumy, Kharkiv, Kherson, Chernihiv, Snake Island, lost control of the Black Sea, Navy chased out of Crimea. Well, that's a lot. Wow, that's... Under tough on Russia, Donald, we've killed hundreds of kids, quadrupled our strikes on cities, and bombed U.S.-owned businesses. Yep. And that dichotomy, that difference, that should tell you who's on what side, shouldn't it? All that progress that was made under Biden. Because Biden was on Ukraine's side. All this, I don't know whether to call it progress or just spite by Vlad. No progress by the Ukrainians, not to this degree anyway. Whose side is Donnie on? That'd be Vlad's side, wouldn't it be? Yeah, it would. Donnie posted this, the convicted felon posted this, the Antichrist posted this. Mother Mary with the Christ child. The irony of Jeff Epstein's best friend posting this. Happy birthday, Mary, Queen of Peace. Now, I heard, again, I'm a Christian, I don't even know about some of these days. I heard it was like Mary Day or something. I don't know about that. I'm not Catholic. The Catholic Church has basically deified Mary, which is an error in my opinion. And I don't care that she's a woman. I'm not God. That's not why I say that. I say that because in the story, Mary is not a deity. That's all. It's nothing personal. Somehow the Catholic Church has made her one. A mistake. Not that Mary isn't wonderful. She's the mother of Jesus. Of course she's wonderful. Is she a deity, though? No. So Donnie again posts this, happy birthday, Mary, Queen of Peace. Again, the irony of the Antichrist, the guy who didn't put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in, posting these things, doing that act of protector of Christianity and protector of Judaism. That is fascinating to watch. And it's another reason that, I really wonder, does he know who and what he is? And he's doing this act for that end goal that he needs, which is that temple and your worship. I'm not joking, son. He wouldn't be the first human to think he's a god, or to want you to treat him like one. He'd be, the 100 millionth in a long fucking line of sociopaths. So it ain't so unbelievable. And again, if you know anything about history, you know this. Every once in a while, a motherfucker comes along that wants to take over the entire world and makes a real shot at it. Alexander, the Romans, America, Adolf Hitler. Donnie's that guy, I'm sorry to say. What does that mean? When one of those legitimate guys gets in power, that means the whole damn world gonna suffer. It always does. Donnie again at the podium. To have a great nation, you have to have religion. I believe that so strongly. No, he doesn't. There has to be something after we go through all of this, and that something is God. Really? That's the Antichrist saying that. Who could care less about God? And he's proven that every second that we've seen his public life. But he's doing this act. Protector of Christianity, protector of Judaism. When was Donnie like this before the whole MAGA thing began? Oh, he was converted, right? No, he wasn't converted. He knows what grift works with the rubes, son. And at this point, I'm really thinking he knows who he is and what he is. And he needs that protector of Judaism, protector of Christianity grift so he can get to the Holy Land. The Holy Grail. Israel, Gaza. The temple. You worshiping him. The mark. The currency, which already exists, with his face on it. With the fight, fight, fight on it. This country, despite me being a Christian, I have to submit to this. This country was founded on separation of religion and society. But we also have religious freedom, which you can be part of any religion you'd like. I have no problem with our country being sticking to those rules. I think it's fair. Because everyone that wants Christianity to be the national religion, well, there's a bunch of other religions. And if they decided maybe they want their religion to be the national religion and they implement that somehow, you wouldn't like that, would you? Because you're not of that religion, right? Right. That's the way they feel about Christianity. So I think the best way to go about it is the way we've been going about it. Separate religion from government. Separate it from society. If you want to practice a certain religion, the options are there. And you're free to do it. I think that's the best way to go about it. Since there's different religions, and it wouldn't be fair to put one religion as the state religion and force everyone to follow. Jesus Christ was not about forcing people to follow. Not at all whatsoever. It's, the opposite of his ways. So any person that wants to have a state religion and force everyone to abide it, I don't think you'd like it again. If someone else's religion was forced on you and you had to adhere to it. But here's something interesting. The Reich has their own religion. It's called Satan and Nazism. They will impose that on all of us. They also need to rewrite history because one political party, about 85%, are traitors to this nation and tried to overthrow the government with Donnie and did so many other wonderful things. So they also need to rewrite history and make all that go away. So a religion is being preached right now, Satanism and Nazism. People are parroting it, and it will be enforced upon you. And eventually, I promise you, son, if I'm right about all this and who this guy is, eventually, and not 20 years from now, he will expect, the Reich will expect, this movement will expect your worship. I'm not kidding. Let me read this again so you really understand the gravity. Think about what he's saying here. To have a great nation, you have to have religion. I believe that so strongly. There has to be something after we go through all of this, and that something is God. I created the first ever DOJ task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias. You hear about anti-Semitic, but you don't hear about anti-Christian. Again, so that's more context on that other thing he just said that I read to you 3 times. As I read this today, I thought to myself, you know what? He's right. I've never heard of this anti-Christian task force before. Donnie came along. And I thought to myself, again, how ironic that the Antichrist is pushing an anti-Christian bias task force. I was also listening to the video I did yesterday, and it got to the part about the new Bible that Donnie's hawking, the presidential version. Did you notice what was on the front of it? Donnie's name. Also a little seal with the eagle and all that, and Donnie's face. Do I still have the picture? Let me pull it up right now. If I still have it. Give me a moment. Sorry. The Bible. Where the fuck did that go? It's back here somewhere. Hold on. Ah, here it is. Oh no, it doesn't have his face. Forgive me. That's why I wanted to look at it again. But it has his name. Twice. It's got the seal with his name at the bottom. Donald Trump right at the top of the seal there. And then up in that small print at the top. So what do you in essence have? These fuckers are slick, man. Not really that slick, but I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, this motherfucker got his name monogrammed on the front of Bibles. I keep telling you, right, that he's going to demand your worship, that he's the Antichrist, that he's the devil's anointed, chosen. They make a goat, they take the $100 bill, put Donnie's face on it, say, in Trump we trust instead of in God we trust. You saw that? Donnie says he wants to be Pope. The Antichrist. The Antichrist wants your worship again. One way to blaspheme God, heaven, God's dwelling place. Put your name on the front of the Bible. Donnie's name is on here twice. On the front of the Bible. It's almost an attempt again at that worship he so covets, that the devil so covets. Everything throughout history has been centered around one thing. I'm talking about from day one, son. An imp that wants to be worshipped as God, wants to be God. The imp chooses Donnie. Donnie chooses the imp. Donnie wants to be God, looks at himself as God, wants you to worship him as God. That's where it's going. Again, you watch the round tables, them all kissing his ass. Have you ever seen anything like it? We've had countless humans that have ruled empires who are worshipped as gods. This is not new. This idea has been around a long time. That royalty is as God, and that's how we should treat it. So if the devil from second one wants to be God, usurp God, be worshipped as God, mar whatever is of God, well then what's Donnie here to do? What does Donnie desire? As the devil's chosen. I know this shit's crazy. I don't care. Listen. So what's Donnie want to do if his daddy is the devil? Chaos, division, war, and worship. The end point. What this is all for. Just as what all human history was for. Is Donnie to get that worship, to be treated like the God he thinks he is. The pharaohs thought they were gods. This isn't new again. Got his name on the Bible twice. Got a currency with his face on it. That will eventually become the currency of the world, most likely. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's got the 666 on it, so what else would they use? Unless they're going to make a new one and just put 666 on it. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? That might freak out some people, though. And they can't afford that. That's why they put fight, fight, fight instead. But don't worry. They're allowed to trick you there. They ain't allowed to trick you when they give you the choice. The choice whether to worship or not. Or maybe I should put it like this. Worship or die. That's the choice that most likely will be given, according to the story. That's why I'm repeating the same thing every night. No matter what it costs you, son. No matter what it costs you. You say you believe, you've been talking it your whole life. Because I met a lot of people that say they're down, but when it comes to it, man, they ain't down. That moment's going to come where you're going to have to decide whether you're down for real, and it's going to cost you. If you say you are down, and that you're not down with the Reich. My point is, I digress too much again. My point is, that moment is coming. And it may cost you everything to say no. 1, and 2, they're not allowed to trick you in that moment. You are going to be presented a choice. Give up what you believe, worship this. If you do that, it's over for you forever. That message has been preached for thousands of years. I don't think anyone's done it as bluntly as me, though. I'm just telling you what the fuck it is. Damn the consequences. Because I know that's how dire it is by what I'm seeing before me. So I suggest you listen and take it seriously, because if what you've seen so far hasn't swayed you to at least ask, none of this is normal. What the fuck? What's going on? What is this? You should be at least have been moved to that point, I hope. Not because of me, because of what you see before you. It doesn't even remotely make sense. It sounds like Adolf Hitler back in fucking 1929. Excuse me, 1932. Forgive me. That's what I'm seeing. I learned today, too, I didn't know this. I knew they had oil. I didn't know they had the most oil. Venezuela. I believe they have something like 300 billion gallons in reserve. In reserve, son. Largest reserves in the world. Saudi Arabia's number 2, Iran's number 3. So now you know why Venezuela is first. So we're back at war for oil territory, George Bush Jr. territory, and we're going after the largest, not where, the Reich is going after the largest reserves on the planet. That's, now you know. Anyone asks, why Venezuela? Why they, what's, now you know why Venezuela. Largest on the planet. Oil reserves. 300 billion gallons. Adolf Hitler would have loved to get his hands on that. Oh, I got to go back to where I was now. That's right. This is yesterday's stuff. Give me a moment. Forgive me. Okay, where did I leave off here? Okay, continuing on the... Oh, that's right, the Antichrist and the Anti-Christian Bias Task Force. Anti-Christian. Donnie's name on the Bible twice. Again, I wonder if that's a little trickery by Donnie and his daddy at getting that worship. Putting Trump's name on the front of the Holy Bible. This person is supposed to spout blasphemies for over 1,200 days. Abomination after abomination. If you really think about it, putting your name on the front of the Holy Bible, yeah, that's an abomination. That would be an offense to God, wouldn't you say? Taking the word of God, putting your name and a seal on it, saying, look, this is the presidential version, now pay me. I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. If I were a famous preacher or something and someone tried to start selling or told me, hey, Nick, maybe you should sell a Bible with your name on the front, your church's edition. Nah. Don't think it's a good idea. Donnie, though, he slapped his name on it 2-3 times right on the front cover and then hawk that shit. Make money off it. Let's continue. I digress way too fucking much. America has always been a nation that believes in the power of prayer, and we will never apologize for our faith ever. We will never surrender our God-given rights. We will defend our liberties, our values, our sovereignty, and we will defend our freedom. Yeah, Donnie doesn't believe in any of that. He's just grifting. And he's trying to build a Reich and be worshipped as God. That's all that's happening here. And he's still kicking. He ain't dead. And Leon and Greasy Pete and JD, they didn't take him out. I told you. The devil going to keep this thing alive and in power. And if he does die one morning, before this shit really jumps off, I'll be stunned. Of course, that'd be the perfect moment to come in with the AI and say, we got to make an image to him. And you have to worship it. Could go that way, but again, the story, son, always go back to the story. When you want to know what's going to happen. Again, the Great War, I believe that's when Beast 1 and Beast 2 die, whoever they may be. I've told you who I think they are. So I don't think Donnie's going to expire early like JD, like Leon, like Greasy Pete, like a lot of people want. Don't think it's going to happen. Going to be a lot of disappointed people with that. Especially those three I mentioned. So Donnie's all about prayer all of a sudden. He's so into prayer, he's hawking Bibles with his name on the front. I got a little involved with museums because I had a little problem with the Smithsonian. We like a little more positivity. It was all about all the bad things in our country. I heard Donnie was at like a Bible museum or something today. Maybe that's where this speech is coming from. I'm not even sure. Who cares? But again, I'm a Christian. I never heard of Bible museum. See, that's dumb shit. This is real shit. It was all about, we like a little more positivity. It was all about the bad things in our country. I said, what about the good things we've done? So I got a little involved with that. What, again, Donnie's selling here, he's talking about museums or the Smithsonian specifically. And what we've been hearing for at least the past 10 years and longer is this bullshit about how if we talk about slavery, we're doing something wrong. If we talk about what happened to the Native Americans, we're doing something wrong. These things shouldn't be brought up because it makes white people feel bad. You know who feels bad? The slaves and the descendants of slaves. The 3 Native Americans that are left because they were almost erased off the map. They fucking feel bad, man. The last party anyone should be concerned about regarding U.S. history is how white people feel. Why? Because white people got all the advantages of the free labor and the torture and the slaughter. That's why. So all the code languages here about, yeah, we don't like that slavery exhibit. Anything that makes the white race look bad in any way, we need to get. That's negativity. Do you believe that's where you're at? And we've been there for a few decades now, where we can't acknowledge the actual history of this country because white nationalism is more important. And the talking point that you've seen in my own live streams people come with, or bots come with, or trolls come with. When are you going to stop feeling guilty for slavery and stop blaming yourself? I don't blame myself at all. Never did. That's a talking point designed for a white nationalist agenda, which Donnie is talking about right here. We all know what Donnie wants to go away regarding U.S. history. Slavery, all the treachery he's responsible for and the GOP is responsible for, the slaughter of the Native Americans, Holocaust remembrance, all that shit. We know what it is. Let's not pretend. And we know what he's talking about here when he's talking about positivity and negativity. Negativity means this. Anything that makes the white race look bad. Anything that makes Donnie personally look bad because he's responsible for God knows how many crimes and abominations and treacheries. Unbelievable. Again, what you're witnessing is Donnie and the Reich remaking every aspect of our society and then the world they're going to go for in their image. Literally, when you boil it all down, that's what you're seeing. They are rewriting history as we speak. Just like the Third Reich did. The Trump administration has launched Operation Midway Blitz, speaking of the Third Reich, in Chicago, targeting illegal immigrants and violent crime. So Midway Blitz, let's just talk about the name. The word blitz, that comes from football, right? No, that comes from Germany. It's short for Blitzkrieg. What the Germans did in Europe. What Donnie's going to do in all kind of places. Because he's talking just like Adolf was talking back at the beginning of his reign. I want that territory. I want this. I want that. I want that. Oh, what? You're not going to give it to me? Okay, Blitzkrieg. Whenever you wonder where this is going, again, one, remember the Nazi salute on Inauguration Day. That should tell you all you need to know. Remember the word blitz. Remember the Third Reich. Adolf demanded more territory. They gave him a little bit. He took the rest. That's why you can't try and appease a dictator. They'll just take more. Just like I told the oligarchy. You give him tribute, he coming back for more next week, next month, whatever. Donnie's proved that several times already. Midway Blitz on an American city. Masked men with machine guns kidnapping people. The operation, using the shortened term Blitz, which really means Blitzkrieg, which was literally used by the Third Reich. It was their main modus operandi, how they did shit. And what does that mean? Just hit them before they're ready. Hit them with so much so fast before they're ready, you just fly right through it all. And that's what Adolf did in Europe. And then he tried to do it in Africa and Russia as well. And even though he made a deal with the Russians in the beginning of the war, just stay out of it, let us do our thing, we won't attack you. Adolf didn't abide the deal and he attacked anyway. So one more time, an operation in an American city called Operation Midway Blitz, named after Blitzkrieg from the Third Reich. Again, being slick, trickery, not using the full word. Just use Blitz. We can't use Blitzkrieg because that's too obvious. Just use Blitz. Whenever you're wondering where this is going, again, remember the Nazi salute on Inauguration Day. Remember the Third Reich. What did they do? That's what Donnie's going to do. You know, like a mass police force of machine guns rounding people up. That's what Adolf did. I don't know if you used the mass, but, you know, you didn't need them back then. Gavin Newsom on today's Supreme Court ruling. Trump's handpicked Supreme Court majority just became the grand marshal for a parade of racial terror in L.A. Yeah, well, that was always the point of the Reich. That's what they wanted to do. This isn't about enforcing immigration laws. It's about targeting Latinos and anyone who doesn't look or sound like Stephen Miller's idea of an American, including U.S. citizens and children, to deliberately harm California's families and small businesses. Trump's private police force now has a green light to come after your family, and every person is now a target. But we will continue fighting these abhorrent attacks on Californians. Well, there's nothing they can really do to fight it, honestly. You just lost more of your country. Racial profiling's cool now. Papers, Please is cool. If you think this was ever about illegal immigrants and it wasn't meant for you, you're just wrong. The end goal is you. Any dissident, anyone who talks shit, maybe a reporter they don't like, maybe a scientist they don't like, maybe a politician they don't like, grab them, take them away, far, far away, never seen again. That's where this is going, son. And again, like I've been saying lately to St. Alex Jones, I ain't just talking here and I ain't fucking selling snake oil, man. Not that anyone that doesn't know me will see this. Again, because the adjudicated criminal only allows me very few broadcasting options after 97 shutdowns. Did I mention that's the adjudicated criminal, Google? Yeah, I did mention that. Here it is. The big news. You ready? I should have just talked about this. We got Trump's birthday note to Jeff Epstein that the president said doesn't exist. We all knew it existed. We just knew Ghislaine and the Wall Street Journal were holding it back for a minute. This may hurt Donnie's case against Rupert. It might hurt it a little bit. This is Oversight Dems who posted this. So, at first I thought they took this from some newspaper or something. But no, it was actually given to the government first. Wall Street Journal got it second, I believe. Trump talks about a wonderful secret the two of them shared. What is he hiding? Release the file. So do you want to see the actual note that Donnie wrote? Right here. The signature. Of course, the Rubes, Vlad, the Russian trolls, the RNC trolls, they all were trying to say the signature doesn't match. The signature matches beautifully. This is real. Donnie made it. Donnie wrote it. It's indisputable. I will entertain no arguments against it. Will not waste my time on disingenuousness. And what does this mean? One, notice how it's drawn. What does this mean for you? It's God asking you another question, or asking another question about you. Once they see this, will they still be down? Let's read the note inside the girl, because it don't look like a woman. And I ain't the only one saying that. I noticed immediately, and so did a lot of other people. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me when last I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. And then Donnie's signature, and it's even got the typed over the signature where it has his name. The Wall Street Journal printed this. The government is putting it out. It's real. I'm sorry. Your dude's a pedo, but you've known this for 10 years. It's getting to the point where it's indisputable. And this is what I've been telling you people for a long time, too. They're not mad about what Donnie is. They know exactly what Donnie is, who he is, what he's done, what he's capable of. What they're mad about is that we know what he is and we say it out loud. That's what bothers them. Not what Donnie is, not this. None of this actually bothers them. It's that we know what Donnie is and we know what they are. And we say it out loud. That kills them. So this is the real note with the real signature. The end. There's no argument. There's no disputing it. There's no discussion. Just this. And my God, every single person on Twitter was posting this shit. And yes, it's his signature. I'm sorry, Rubes. I didn't ask you to be on Team MAGA, be on Team Pedo. You chose that all on your own. I didn't force you to do it, son. You might want to get off now. I think it's time. Lawyers for Jeff Epstein estate have given Congress a copy of the birthday book put together for the financier's 50th birthday, which includes a letter with Trump's signature that he has said doesn't exist. Yes, and I'm going to read you the clip of Donnie saying it doesn't exist. Lying again. And so, at first, again, I thought that Congress, the oversight Democrats got it first, that I thought the Wall Street Journal, this person saying the lawyers gave it to Congress. The House Oversight Committee says it has received the following from the Epstein estate. Birthday book, last will and testament, 2007 non-prosecution agreement, entries from address, contacts book, bank account info. And I've seen a bunch of stuff. I'm not presenting it all right now because that's not the point. I'll present more of it tomorrow and the next day as it all comes out. I've seen a bunch of shit already. Some I can't even talk about. Some of it's so vulgar. Just a couple things today. So you saw the note, the actual note with the woman's silhouette drawn around it. The Wall Street Journal just published the birthday card that Trump sent to Epstein. It's exactly how they described it. The message is in the outline of a woman, and Trump's signature is clearly on it. This debunks Trump and MAGA. Not that many things haven't already debunked them, but again, look at it. This is what, what allegedly didn't exist. I mean, what's going to come out next? The fucking PP tape? And a lot of people on the internet said, that looks like a girl's body, not a woman's body. A lot of people, and they said it very strongly. I'm not joking. Okay, this is Donnie talking shit on Tom Hanks. Because, that's important for the president to be doing. Our great West Point, getting greater all the time, has smartly canceled the awards ceremony for actor Tom Hanks. Important move. We don't need destructive, woke recipients getting our cherished American awards. That's what Tom Hanks is. He's woke, right, Rubes? And woke is bad. Can you define woke? Because it doesn't actually exist. Rubes exist, though. Holy fuck, do they exist? They caused the actual apocalypse. And they ended the American Empire. And now they're praying to Jesus for their farms to be saved. On the Antichrist they love so much. That they wanted to set loose on all of us. Apparently he's gotten to them first. What a shame. Hopefully the Academy Awards and other fake award shows will review their standards and practices in the name of fairness and justice. Watch their dead ratings surge. Tom Hanks is an actual star who's done some brilliant fucking movies, by the way. Done brilliant comedy. And he seems like a genuinely nice guy from what I've seen of him. And this fat orange cunt is spending his time calling West Point and giving orders to not give Hanks an award. Again, he's the Antichrist, 1. 2, this is what he's spending his time on. Again, not helping you or me or any of us. That's the furthest thing from his mind. Way too consumed with his various vendettas against Colbert, Tom Hanks, etc. Way too consumed. Just means the world to him. As if Tom Hanks needs the shitty award from West Point anyway. But this is how petty and pathetic you people that are down with this and Donnie are. Tom will be just fine without the award, I'm sure. What's sad is that you care and that Donnie cares about it. That's what's fucking sad. What's sad is Donnie actually took the time to make a call to West Point or had dispatched one of his fucking minions to make this happen. Sad, man. And Tom Hanks, it just, another thing this is showing is no one's immune. Tom Hanks at the top of Hollywood, A-list, rich as fuck, hot commodity, even right now. Any movie director would love to fucking have him. if they could afford them. Donnie on his ass. Cost him an award, not that Tom gives a shit. But still, it proves a point. No one's immune. Breaking news, Congress obtains drawings for Epstein, apparently signed by Trump. That's the New York Times headline. Donnie is not going to like this shit. I expect a tweet coming out tomorrow or something, maybe later. Maggot Hagerman, NYT's the enemy of the people. Again, I must say, when this Epstein shit first started getting all hot, and the Wall Street Journal started with it, and Ghislaine started, what did I say about Donnie? He's a cornered rat. He's gonna lash out, and boy, has he lashed out. Now, some legit, indisputable fucking evidence has come out. What the fuck's he gonna be like tomorrow? And the coming week? If he was a cornered rat before, now he's a double cornered rat. So expect him to lash out. Chicago, get ready for some troops to be marching into town. Because this needs to go away. So Donnie's a double cornered rat. So, don't be clapping, be all celebrating, because this motherfucker's going to get even more vengeful, spiteful, evil. That's his only reaction. All he knows how to do. Okay, this was months ago when all this shit started getting hot and a drawing was mentioned and a card was mentioned. They knew Donnie would deny it, and they knew they were going to print it later. And remember, this is what Donnie looked like when this all first started getting hot? Check him out. Let's see what he says. I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women. Who would do a controversial drawing? There were many letters drawn by many people, many big people. So Donnie doesn't draw. Then we found out he did 8 skyscraper drawings that they auctioned over the years. And then we find out, shall we look at it again? Then we see this. Uh-oh. Not that everyone in the entire world didn't already know Donnie was an abject fucking liar and criminal. But it is nice to see the actual item that proves it. And again, notice how the body is drawn. All right, I got a few more here and then I'm done. This detail from the Wall Street Journal, new Trump-Epstein reporting also seems pretty bad. The Epstein estate also turned over another letter from the book that references Trump. It came from businessman and longtime Mar-a-Lago member Joel Paschal, who made a crude joke about a woman that Trump and Epstein socialized with in the 1990s, according to people familiar with the matter. The Paschal letter included a photo of a poster board-sized check for $22,000, which had been mocked up to appear that it was sent from Trump to Epstein. Beneath it, a handwritten caption said, "Jeffrey showing early talents with money and women sells fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,000. The woman's name is redacted from the image." And this is the image. And the woman's face is blurred out, or someone's face is blurred out. I don't know if that's the actual woman. That's the check. That's them having a good old time. And I guess they figured Donnie would appreciate that. And again, it's got the writing. And that's just what I read to you. Handwriting at the bottom. This is all legit stuff, man. Indisputable, inarguable. And this is JD the Couchfucker and Skeletor Caroline Levitt. And I'm going to read you what they wrote, and then I'm going to read you what Ron wrote about it. So the Couchfucker is first. The Democrats don't care about Epstein. They don't even care about his victims. That's why they were silent about it for years. The only thing they care about is concocting another fake scandal like Russiagate to smear President Trump with lies. Russiagate ain't fake. It's Donnie Krasnoff. Verified, 1987. Straight up asset. Whether Donnie knew it or not, irrelevant. No one is falling for this BS. That's what the Couchfucker's saying. Again, you can't argue this. They can try, son. Everyone knows these are real. Everyone knows Donnie's involved. Caroline Levitt, what did she say? The latest piece published by the Wall Street Journal proves this entire birthday card story is false. As I have said all along, it's very clear President Trump did not draw this picture. And she continued on. Now, what does Ron say? This is what you post when you got nothing and you realize the rest of your career is hitched to the ass of a pedo in orange makeup wrecking the economy. Indeed, Rubes. It's what I've been yelling for 10 fucking years. The pedo part 2. You think I didn't know about that case regarding the 13-year-old 10 years ago? I did. I used to talk about it. That's not new for me. That's real old news. My point is, you knew then, and you really know now, son. That he's a pedo. And again, this ain't Alex Jones, this ain't right-wing TV, that where the word pedo is just thrown around for fun. Where slander and libel is just put out for fun. Until they get sued into oblivion, which happens to them all. This ain't that. I've never been sued. No cease and desist. And I've said some outlandish shit. Because they know better. They know it won't go well for them. Just like Donnie's case won't go well for him. Against Murdoch. Regarding the birthday card. That now is in everyone in the world has seen. Guess Donnie shouldn't have sued, huh? So yeah, it seems Miss Levitt and the Couchfucker are realizing, yeah, we're getting... See, that's the thing with everyone. Rubio, all of them. All the people that have hitched their wagon to Donnie, you're getting sucked down, 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 all the way into the abyss. And all the MAGA cult members are going to go too. Now you're getting sucked down. The ones that are still alive. If you catch my drift. Because a lot of them didn't make it because Donnie ruined their business. I'm talking the past 10 years, first term and this term, son. I saw a woman on video today that said 5 of her clients committed suicide. 5. So yes, Donnie is an anvil and you're all tied to him. An anvil that's thrown into the abyss. And he's pulling all of you as you clap like seals and try and turn try and turn evil into good. Like JD and Miss Levitt are doing here. When they know damn well Donnie's guilty. keeping yourself tied to Donnie, eventually you will end up in the abyss with Donnie. We all will, unfortunately. Some of us will, I don't know what to call it, rise again. Others won't. So Ron's spot on here. That's exactly what you'd say when you come to that realization that, yeah, he's taken us all down with him. Why do you think on J6 Hannity and all different people were, contacting Ivanka, anyone they could, because Trump wasn't answering the phone. He was eating hot wings, watching his coup on TV. He didn't want to hear from nobody. Why do you think they were all contacting him saying, you're killing us, you're going to ruin us, what are you doing, you need to stop this? Because they all realize he's pulling us all in with him, and they all had a lot to say that day and the next day before they all got right back on board. They had a lot to say about how wrong it all was. You should see the statements from Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and different people the day after and the day of. Look at them now. Oh, a new executive order, Donnie just signed. Check it out. He's presenting it. Oh, shit, never mind. That's the Epstein thing. Never mind. That's the drawing Donnie did for Epstein on his birthday. Never mind. I don't know how that got in there. And we come to the end. Another piece from the Epstein revelation today. And this is from Alan Dershowitz. And he's writing to Jeff Epstein. This is from 2002 in December. Dear Jeffrey, as a birthday gift to you, I managed to obtain an early version of the Vanity Unfair article. God, they even did stupid, insulting nicknames back then. I talked them into changing the focus from you to Bill Clinton, as you will see from the enclosed excerpt. Happy birthday and best regards. So Dersh got Vanity Fair to drop a lot of what they wrote about Jeff, or all of it, and just focus on Bill Clinton. Don't talk about Jeff so much. And Mr. Dershowitz, in case you forgot, he's the one that said, yeah, I've been at Epstein's place. I was on the massage tables, but I kept my underwear on. I'm a righteous man. I know I was getting massaged by a 14-year-old girl, but I kept my underwear on. And many of you walked away after hearing that, and you were okay with it. He kept his underwear on. Look, this stuff that was released today is indisputable, and a lot of the stuff that's been released for 10 years was indisputable. You didn't care. You probably don't care about this now, even the people that won't see this. If your name is on this, you need to get it the fuck off. You've known for a long time you've been enabling a pedo. You've known this. You've done it anyway. Now everyone knows. I suggest you get your name off. You should have got it off 10 years ago. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. This is going one place, to the fucking abyss. And if you're smart, you get your name off it before it gets there. The evidence is indisputable. Donnie's letter came out today. That's not going away. Ever. God is asking a question about you again. Is this their line? Will they turn away now? Or will they continue down the road to the abyss? Because we don't have a lot of time. You understand that, right? Anyway, as always, when that mark comes, you must say no matter what it costs you. Because if you say yes, it will cost you everything. All this, your life here, all that seemed so important, seemed so eternal, seemed so paramount. You'll understand that it wasn't so paramount. And that this wasn't the real intention. Eternity was the real intention, in a different place, in a different way, in perfection. That was the intention. Man didn't like perfection. What I'm trying to say is, to lose eternity for this is not worth it. Don't learn that the hard way. Get your name off it now, and when the mark comes, you best not take it, son. Because what you gain temporarily, and it won't last long, will not be worth what you lose eternally. Not even close. Anyway, I gotta go. I didn't even plan on being on this long. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and as always, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section if you'd like to help out. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and until the next episode, I will see you then.